This is, as you say, Ben, I think you said this is the fourth Gaza war that you've lived through. This one is different from all other previous conflicts because of this mass hostage-taking strategy. And obviously that the cruelty and terrorizing of the individual people who are victimized by this tactic is one outcome. It also has an outcome. You see them prioritizing the photographing and filming of both murders and hostage takings, kidnappings, to try to spread the terrorizing effect of that. Presumably the hostage taking also has the strategic impact, the tactical impact of providing some sort of a human shield factor for Hamas. They're threatening that they'll kill hostages and film it and broadcast it in response to Israel destroying any civilian homes in Gaza. Obviously, it's hard to know why exactly they are doing it or how they see it ending. But how does it constrain or prescribe what the American government can do to know that there are dozens, maybe even more, hostages taken and that there are Americans among them?
Well, first of all, there's some practical questions that I'm sure are front of mind in the Situation Room. I can imagine that this is kind of an open-ended meeting in the Situation Room. And one of those questions is, what intelligence support can we provide to Israel to try to identify who the hostages are and what their locations are? And obviously, another concern of the United States is trying to determine how many of these people are Americans. I think the question going forward is, Hamas wants these hostages for a number of reasons. Perhaps to be human shields against indiscriminate bombardment or ground invasion of Gaza, perhaps to exchange those hostages for Palestinians who are in prison. I think a big part of the reason why Hamas probably did this, and nobody knows exactly why they did this other than Hamas, is that they want to establish themselves as the vanguard of Palestinian leadership. The Palestinian Authority is weak. They are not delivering on the aspiration of a Palestinian state. They are kind of a corrupt and sclerotic government. And Hamas wants to demonstrate that they can achieve things like the release of Palestinian prisoners that the Palestinian Authority cannot. And that presents a real dilemma for Israel, which is that, do you deal with Hamas in some form of prisoner exchange like the one that Qatar is apparently offering, or do you not? The problem is, if you don't, you have no way of assuring the safety of those hostages. It feels like Israel is primed for a ground invasion of Gaza, which would lead to a significant loss of life for civilians there and probably significant dangers for the hostages. Even what was announced today, the cutoff of electricity and food and water to Gaza, well, that could put at risk the hostages themselves. That could cut off power for hospitals. That cut off access to water. And so we have a real variable here that we've not seen before. We had one Israeli soldier, Gilad Shalit, taken hostage by Hamas in the past. He ended up being traded for 1,000 prisoners. And so that's the length that Israel's gone to get its people back. I think in this case, its desire for retribution, its desire to destroy Hamas is actually kind of at odds with the capacity to assure that you can get the hostages back safely. So that's a real dilemma that is facing people in Israel and in the United States right now.
Yeah, it's a real dilemma that becomes more acute and more of a moral catastrophe with literally each passing minute that those people are in that situation. Ben Rhodes, former White House Deputy National Security Advisor. Ben, thank you so much for your time tonight. Really helpful.
Thanks, Rachel.